So there's the shield, the Mogan, say Mogan,
Mogan,
which is a protective shield. And this shield, as we are reading here in the Bereshit, the African book of Genesis, the 15th scroll, the 6th verse, this shield that we, the children of the Most High, have are the Naturi Elohim, who are our direct ancestors that have been assigned to us. So you should know, as a child of the Most High, that there are those Naturi Elohim that have been assigned. The Naturi Elohim are the African guardian angelic host, your direct ancestors.
yes,
Right? And this is important because in a day and time where there's so much danger, we do need protection.
yes,
Yes?
yes.
Spiritually, emotionally, mentally, and physically. But here's the reality. Like we said earlier, if you're not behind the shield cannot protect you. If you're not at one with the shield cannot protect you. So what does this mean? The Naturi Elohim are protecting those that are in their image and after their likeness. The Naturi Elohim are protecting the children of the Most High. Because every creation within nature, every creation within existence is not a child of the Most High. We read last week where Genesis 3 talks about a serpent that was made by the Lord God. But that serpent is not a child of the Most High. Genesis 3 and 15 talks about the seed of the woman and the seed of the serpent. So every seed is not a seed of the Most High. So we have to be aware now, as true Christians, as atoneless Christians, that we have a responsibility to become children of the Most High if we are ever going to receive this protection. You understand? Verse 7 reads, and in order that you, Zoser Ibrium, who they call Abraham in the book of Genesis, in order that you, Zoser Ibrium, and those over whom you do rule, to forever embrace true faith. To how long?
Forever.
No, till you feel like it. That's what it said, right? You know, when you're feeling the tonus, you know, you put on your garb, you say the master, you know, right over left, bow. You know, that's what it said, right?
No.
It said, you could do it, but don't worry about your children. You ain't got to make sure they do it. You do it, you become an atonist, but your children can do whatever they want. That's what it says, right?
No.
Because the only way you could forever live as an atonist is if your children and or your works help to assist with atonism living in the next generation. You understand? And they say it that way because we have a responsibility, not just to ourselves, but the next generation.
Yes.
But it's saying, listen, Ibrium, Zose Ibrium, those over whom you do rule, to forever embrace true faith, I now give you the unified triad symbol composed of the Ankh, say Ankh, which is for ancient Ishmael. I give you the 8-pointed star, say 8-pointed star,
8-pointed star,
for ancient Israel. And I give you the crescent, say crescent,
crescent,
for ancient Midiani, which is a sacred triad symbol, which you and those born forth out of you shall even unto and through the latter day wear as what? Protective talismans. And what? Reminders. You have to be always reminded of who you are. Huh? To serve as a visible sign. This ain't blind faith. We got visible signs. A visible sign wherever you go upon tar earth. And for those who may be unfamiliar with that symbol, the Ankh, which is the original African cruciform, you see us wearing this Ankh. They say, y'all got Jesus on the Ankh. This ain't no Jesus. This is Asaru, the original sacrificial shepherd. We didn't make this up. This is sitting in the Vatican right now, where they hiding it from you. They trying to figure out how we found it. We're in the 24th moment, the 24th hour, whereby, again, the ingredients that are needed in order for the formula for us to become children of the Most High is being made present. The eight-pointed star. The eight-pointed star is not just a star, but it's a compass. It is saying that we are scattered as the three groups of 12 royal tribes all over the planet. And we're going to come from north, south, east, west. North, west, south, east, northeast. The 8 corners of the world in order to unite and become one. Not just with each other, but more so with the Most High Heavenly One that is inside of us. Which allows us to become what? One soul in different bodies. The body of the Christ. The resurrection of the real and living Messiah. You understand? And then there's the crescent, which is not merely a crescent, but it is representative of the society of 2 horns. Which is an ancient sacred society that has given way to the churches, the lodges, the secret societies, as they love to call themselves, etc. But this society of 2 horns is a society that is being rebirthed in order to protect the children of the Most High. Amen? And so today we read from this parchment what is the sacred seal of the ever-living Nazarenes. And this is important because we live in a day and time where we just don't know that this formula even exists. And in not knowing how this formula exists, we're unable to become children of the Most High. And so today, we're going to read from, for those who may have it, page, my page number on my phone, looking at me right now. So give me a second, I'm going to find it. Because we are in every way learning the formula of page 91. We're learning the formula of how to become children of the Most High. It was a question that was asked of one of our members recently. And the question that they got was, have you seen a change in yourself being a part of that church?
Right.
Have you seen a change in yourself? And I smiled because the moment you embrace atonism, you begin to change. And I said embrace. I didn't say read about. I said embrace. Because the moment you embrace it, every Friday you light your Shabbat candles. The moment you embrace it, you're learning your Sila. The moment you embrace it, you're learning these 12 to 14 tribes. The moment you embrace it, you're learning how to dress. The moment you embrace atonism, you're learning etiquette. You're learning how to become a noble man or a noble woman. The moment you embrace atonism, you're learning about what Christmas is, what Hanukkah is. The moment you embrace atonism, you know in February is African Holocaust Month. You know that there's Friendship Day in February. You know that Fisak Shemo is coming at the end of March, which is what they call Passover. You know that the new Resurrection Sunday, which they call Easter, is coming in April. You automatically change. And that change is for the better, because those things that was just mentioned are ingredients to a formula that puts you in a frame of mind that causes you to think like a child of the Most High. That causes you to move and do things like a child of the Most High. Now, we've been putting a lot of formulas to work as a people for the past 2,000 years, but it's not working. We've been making that dumb cake now for 2,000 years and not realizing that you can need some yeast or baking soda or something, baking powder, something.
Something.
Huh? But it ain't rising. We keep opening the oven and the cake's still flat. And we say, you know, this year, the cake will rise. Or they'll say, he's coming. Now, I saw a big billboard, message from the king. Says he's coming back. But why you didn't keep him on the phone? So all us could talk to him. Huh? Stop running game on our people. Stop feeding us dumb cake.
That's right.
Huh? Or plastic cake. We need a formula now to eat. We need a formula now to live. We need a formula now to be able to rule ourselves. We need a formula now to bring heaven to earth. This nonsense about going to heaven, stop it. The white man living around you, he in heaven. The Arab man living around you, he in heaven. The Hindu living around you, he in heaven. But you still around here talking about going to heaven?
My goodness.
And that includes all of us.
Yes.
As Nubian Melanomites. Even the ones who said they've been studying for so long.
Yes.
You ain't got nothing to show for it. Other than you could talk and convince somebody you smarter than them.
My goodness.
What is on the ground? Huh? Where are the places like the Greater Commission? See, I admire them.
Yep.
I don't have to believe and accept everything Bishop Walter Hanschel preaches. I don't have to, but his works.
Come on. Come on.
His works. I have to respect that.
Come on.
Huh? I don't have to believe and accept everything Dr. Carlos Reed talking about, but his works, he got them basketball courts down there. He helping to stop these gangs from proliferating. His works.
Come on.
See, I can respect people without actually believing what they believe or accepting what they. I worry about your works.
Come on. That's right.
And I'm making sure that we have works. We growing our food, we growing our businesses,
Yes.
we raising our children, we raising a congregation that has a formula whereby we are children of the Most High. You understand? And so, in this parchment, what is the sacred seal of the ever-living Nassarian? We read on page 91, what was or is the formula to becoming a child of the Most High Heavenly One and Nere? The formula to becoming a child of the Most High Heavenly One and Nere is predicated upon one's worthiness, a worthiness, of and willingness, a willingness. It's predicated upon one's worthiness of and willingness to receive, say receive. Of the doctrines and disciplines of the Christ consciousness. You got to be willing to receive. See, if all you're interested in is giving and talking and nobody can hear, you can't hear what nobody is saying, you can't receive. If the sponge is already full, none can be added to it. If the cup is already full, none can be added to it. You got to be willing to empty your cup and what? Receive. It ain't just receiving anything. It says receive the doctrines and the disciplines. Say discipline. Say morals. Say more rules. See, that's what morals really stand for. More rules. And we got a lot of people who walking around with a lot of ingredients, but they ain't want nobody tell them how to use the ingredients. They want to use it for what they want to use it for. Well, I know you could use it for this, but I think I. Your ego can't get out of your way long enough to allow the Most High Heavenly One to give you a formula to be what? An extension of the Most High.
My goodness.
You can't be so full of yourself that you believe you could feed the whole world. You can't do it.
No.
We ain't trying to save 7 billion people. We know that. We ain't even trying to save 1 billion people. We understand that there are those who need it this way, and we're here for them. Amen. And those who need it this way must be willing to receive the doctrines and disciplines of the Christ consciousness, which are based intently on the words of the original books of the Bible, which is the most sacred atonist Christian text. What's interesting is there are people who are holding portions of the original books of the Bible, and they have it. Y'all around here, all y'all is reading is the Bible. We like, fool, you got part of the Bible and don't know it's the Bible. Huh? You talking about the 42 negative confessions? That's a part of the book of my heart. You talking about the history. You're talking about the realities of what took place 2,000, 6,000, 10,000. You realize that's in the bottom sheet, right? No, you don't, because you don't listen. You don't want to receive. Right? So we who have it, we have to be an example. We can't just have this and walk around with it and don't do anything with it. If you got the ingredients and you got the formula, bake the cake, man. Let's feed the people.
Yes.
Let's feed the people. Let's live as atonist Christians because they're watching us. We're an example to them. Whether we accept it or not, we are an example to them. Whether they say they watching or not, we are an example to them. Because they know they're not really protected by no Greco-Roman God. That's why their message is straight away. Their message doesn't even talk about what they say they believe in. Now they talking about prosperity. Seeding and tithing and everything is about what you could get. As opposed to receiving of these doctrines and receiving of the sacred text, the original books of the Bible. This is important because unfortunately the Greco-Romanized monotheistic books, the Anglicized Bible, and the Arabicized Quran have been bleached and mythologically grafted. You think we're reading some mythologically grafted book? No. It's unfortunate that we don't realize that the systems that rule us today are based off of our realities. The reason why they're giving you a version of the Bible is because it's an original one. Right? And if we're not aware of the original aspects of what they're giving us, we're going to miss the formula. I had a good brother of mine say to me yesterday, he's actually a member of this church. He ain't been out in a while. He supports us. Man, I ain't want never no Christmas. I smile. I say, we're not making up Christmas. We're not making up Hanukkah. Christmas and Hanukkah and Pesach Shemo and New Resurrection Sunday and all of the things that we are celebrating is a part of a formula. Because each one of these celebrations or feasts comes with a doctrine that you have to learn about. You understand? And if you're not willing to learn about Christmas and Hanukkah and Friendship Day and African Holocaust Month and Marcus Garvey Day and Rosh Hashanah and all the different things that we celebrate, you're saying, I am unwilling to receive. I am unwilling to receive of the doctrines and the disciplines. Ha-wa-reuna. The disciplined ones. See, the Most High works by way of discipleship, discipleship. Everything in nature has discipline. Ants have discipline. Bees have discipline. Wasps have discipline. The mango trees have discipline. They don't say, you know, we ain't supposed to bear around this time. You know, they're like, yo, the environment says we're supposed to bear. Put the blossoms up. They understand their function. So because our original scriptures have been bleached, we unfortunately have a bleached formula. It doesn't work for us. It's not working. Look at the world around us today. You tell me that the world that we live in today is the world that God wants us in. I dare anyone to come and bring that nonsense to us. We're not going to debate you, we're just going to look at you. Because at the end of the day, this world is upside down. Psalm 82 talks about it.
Yeah.
It talks about all the foundations of the earth are out of course. That's the day and time we live in. You think that's what the Most High wants for us? No. This mythologically engrafted and bleached, anglicized Bible, the Arabicized Quran, have many of us believing that JC is Jesus Christ, when it is Julius Caesar, best called Jesus Christos, or Jesus Christos, Jesus Christ, or Isa al-Masih. It must be received and worshipped in some fashion in order to be worthy of becoming a child of the Most High Heavenly One, which the divinely inspired scripture, namely the original books of the Bible, proves is a falsehood. So when we hear JC, we know it's Julius Caesar. We don't accept that. Jesus Christos, Jesus Christos, Jesus Christ, Isa al-Masih. We don't accept those things because that's not a part of the formula. Because we have the original books of the Bible that have given us a formula. And I'm going to give you an example of what's coming in terms of the original books of the Bible. If you go to the book of Matthew chapter 10, verses 38 to 40, we're going to read that in the Greco-Roman monotheistic King James anglicized Bible. And then we're going to read it from the original books of the Bible. So we can get that verse. Let's read it together. Matthew 10, 38 to 40. At least when you got it, say I got it.
Got it.
Let's read. It says what?
And
he that taketh not his cross and followeth after me is not worthy of me. He that findeth his life shall lose it. Remember we just talking about it?
Yeah.
I. He that findeth his life shall lose it, and what?
And
he that loseth his life for my sake shall find it. He that receiveth you receiveth me. See the word receive?
Yes.
And he that receiveth me receiveth him that sent me. He that receiveth a prophet in the name of a prophet shall receive a prophet's reward. And he that receiveth a righteous man in the name of a righteous man shall receive a righteous man's reward. Beautiful verse, if you're reading it with African eyes. But let's make it clear. The original books of the Bible, the book of Ma'at. See, we ain't talking about Matthew no more. You talking about Ma'at? Who? This is an African book. Existed before Matthew. You know they don't know who wrote Matthew, right? That's what they say in their encyclopedias. They don't know who wrote Matthew. They don't know who wrote Mark, Luke, or John. Don't believe me? Come out on a Wednesday, we'll walk you through it. Verse 112 to 117 in the book of Ma'atu. And the Messiah Yeshua Christ. Remember, this is the same verse we just read. We're now reading it in its original form, right? And the Messiah Yeshua Christ continued teaching all who were gathered and said, any member of the three groups of 12 royal tribes of Ishmael, Israel, and Midiani. So he's talking to a specific group of people. The original books of the Bible makes it clear that he didn't come to all people.
Right.
Couldn't have come to all people because all people don't receive this.
Right.
Right? Those are the three groups of 12 royal tribes of Ishmael, Israel, and Midiani, who fails to take on the self-sacrificing and selfless nature of the Nazarene, which are necessary towards liberation and salvation of our people, shall not be found worthy of being made at one with the Most High Heavenly One and Nere. So what is it saying? It's saying it's a formula. In order for you to be at one with the Most High Heavenly One and Nere, you have to be what? Self-sacrificing and selfless. It doesn't mean you let people walk over you. It doesn't mean you become a person who's weak and doesn't do anything for yourself. It means that what is best for the whole should be best for you.
Yes.
The minute you start feeling that what's best for you is more important than what's best for the whole, then you're not in a position to receive this salvation. You're not in a position to help liberate our people. Amen? Verse 113. And any member of the chosen Melaninite seed who fails to overstand the seriousness of which I speak, whereby refuses to receive, see the Caesar to receive again, refuses to receive and take up the Neb Unk, or the Atonus Lord's cruciform, which is in the Sardian cruciform of eternal life, and stand against the Hellenistic doctrines of the Greco-Romans, which threaten the very lives and survival of all the chosen seed with the invading and subjugating doctrines of the various church cults of the Alexandrian, Macedonians, and Roman Caesars, as I have done, is not worthy of saying they are one of my true followers. If you're not going to stand up and actually defend the original books of the Bible, if you're not going to live it, if you're not going to embrace it, if you're not going to stand up against Hellenistic teachings, which, by the way, their teaching is to eliminate you. Eliminate the divine gene. They could do it through prison. They could do it through the police shooting you on the side of the road. They could do it through poisoning you through food. They could do it through making sure you are uneducated or miseducated, so you don't get a type of job or skill necessary to take care of yourself. They don't care how it's done. All they want to do is eliminate this divine seed because they know their time is up.
Right.
Not because I said it. Not because we're going to do something to them. Number one, if you're allergic to the sun and the solar system, you got a problem. That's like a fish being allergic to water.
My goodness.
You can't get away from the sun. So if you're allergic to it, they had a boy group back in the days who say what? Bye, bye, bye. See you later. Thanks for coming. Right? They ain't nothing to do with us. Right? So we got to be willing to stand up and show a lie is a lie is a lie.
Yes.
Based on the original, based on the reference point. Amun? So if you're not willing to do that, he's saying you can't be one of my true followers. You cannot be a child of the Most High. And any who refuses to receive and take up the Neb Unk, the Atonus Lord's cruciform, which is the Nasarian cruciform of eternal life, is further unworthy of calling themselves an Atonus Christian or true African Christian that is a part of the Christ body, of which I am the head of this generation. Tut Ankh Amun, Yahshua Christ was the head of this Christ consciousness in his generation 3,500 years ago on our calendar, 2,000 years ago on their calendar. Today we have our Vasesh, Harahotep Talk. And we better take it seriously. You understand? Because what it's saying is, if all you want to do is live in this world and pretend like you're one of us, we can see you. Because there's too many aspects of the formula whereby if you're not truly putting the formula to work, that's what the cake ain't gonna rise.
That's right.
If it rises, it ain't gonna taste right.
That's right.
It's gonna be off.
Yeah.
You're not gonna manifest the works that the formula says you're supposed to manifest. If you're supposed to be making food for 40 people, there's a certain amount of food you just gotta have. You may make the perfect meal, but is it enough? You may have enough for everybody, but does it taste right? See, you can't get away. You're gonna have to embrace this, which means to embrace this, you gotta put down everything else. You can't be holding on to their garbage and saying you're embracing it. It's not going to work. You're not going to be protected. Amen? It goes on to say, verse 115, and those who are of the 3 groups of 12 royal tribes and families must beware that you put not your total focus on merely your own personal life achievements. We all have personal life achievements. And that's a good thing. You should have personal life achievements. But don't put all your time in focusing on that place. What are you doing for the whole? For in focusing only on your personal wants and desires, you shall get caught up in the delicacies of the world, wherein cause your genetic life and offspring to be lost. This ain't no joke, because if all you're doing is teaching your children to be selfish like you, guess what? You're losing contact, or you're losing scope of what the reality is of the Most High Heavenly One. And your children will grow up and they'll follow this world and they'll be lost, because this world is crumbling. Amen? Yet, for those amongst the chosen Melaninite seed who shall willingly do all within their power to work for the betterment of the whole Nubian Melaninite family, living by the principles of selflessness and self-sacrificing, if you remain faithful to the ways of the Nazarites, for the sake of keeping my name and teachings alive, you shall be guaranteed success. Say success.
Success.
You shall be guaranteed prosperity. Say prosperity.
Prosperity.
Whereby you shall be found loved and respected for your renowned works throughout all generations, which shall come forth out of you. We still talking about Imhotep.
Yes.
We still talking about Tahuti. We still talking about Aset.
Yes.
We still talking about Hathor. We still talking about Nunanunet. So this is real, because we've been talking about them for millions of years. Right? Verse 117, and all of those of the 3 groups of 12 royal tribes of Ishmael, Israel, and Midiani, who choose to embrace the Atonis Korestian true faith, shall find that you shall be respected and appreciated by those who respect and appreciate my teachings and hold true to the realistic worship of the Most High Heavenly One and neighbor. See what they did to that verse? That verse is a lot more clear and a lot more specific, coming from the original books of the Bible. And it's important that we show you this, because we're showing you or giving you an example of 2 different cookbooks. One cookbook is saying you need flour, you need sugar, you need baking powder, and some water. A little bit of oil. That's all that Matthew verse saying. The original books of the Bible is telling you what type of flour you need, how much of the flour you need, what type of sugar you need, how much of that sugar you gonna need, what type of oil, how much of it you gonna need. Which 2 do you mix first? Do you put everything in at one time, or do you put the dry ingredients first and then the wet? How do you do it? The original books of the Bible is going to specifically walk you through, so that every time you make that cake, it's going to come out perfect.
Yes.
Because the cake is you. You got to remake yourself. This is the spiritual gym. And another good brother, he reach out to me, he interested, he want to be baptized, he want to be part of the Holy Gupta Church, but he don't come out. I mean, I talked about something I recently taught, and it's a good brother. Is there a fast track way to becoming an atonist?
Nope.
Is there a fast track way to get in shape? No. You gotta come in every day and put in your work, bro.
Put in your work.
This is the spiritual gym. You can afford to have a membership here. If you don't come in and work, you ain't gonna change.
Right. No results.
Yeah, you could know how many sit-ups you're supposed to do, but are you doing them? And if you do 100 push-ups a day, you get your arms, your chest, but are you doing the push-ups?
Right.
Because that's what a lot of our brothers and sisters doing. They can tell you how far to run. They can tell you how much push-ups. They can tell you how much crunches. They can tell you how many times a day you're supposed to do it, but they ain't doing it. That's why they ain't having the results. How could you get the results when you ain't putting in the work?
You gotta be an example of that.
You got the whole blueprint. You know how the building's supposed to go. And you need 10 sheets, this is building of a shed. You need 10 sheets of plywood. You need some ice and water shield. You need some nails. You need some screws. You need some sand. You need some cement. All right. Now what? We got some screws. We got some sand. We got some cement. Hey, this cement, this the dreaded cement you could buy, you know. Brother, we're in the shed there now. We got some nails. You ever see these top going screws? No. We building the shed, you know. But let me tell you about these screws.
Yes.
You ain't want to hear about the ingredients no more.
We wouldn't.
Put up the flicking shed, man.
You know what I'm saying?
The storm coming.
You know.
Huh? Like Dr. Naeem Akbar, we found a clip recently. He said, you believe because you sit down and watch a couple of documentaries with Dr. Ben and Dr. Umar Johnson and Polite and all of them. You think that's it? They're giving you ingredients. They building their shed, build yours.
That's right.
We got to become children of the Most High. This ain't about just sounding deep, just sounding heavy. This is about us actually putting a formula. And that's why there's some people who come around us and they say, well, you can learn this stuff anywhere. Sure, you can buy the ingredients from Super Value. You can buy the ingredients from Solomon's. You could buy it from Budget. You could buy it from Little General. You could buy the ingredients from, you can get the ingredients. Do you have the formula? You know you ain't got the formula because you ain't got no cake. Still walking around with a bunch of flour on your hand. Don't ain't got no measuring cup. You ain't know what unit the measuring cup's supposed to be in. You ain't got the formula.
That's right.
You got the knowledge, but you don't have all of it anyway because you ain't got all the ingredients. Because you ain't know icing was supposed to go on the cake. You learn about the cake and you break off running. And then you realize the cake need icing. So you ain't even got the ingredients for that. You ain't even know you're supposed to have icing. Huh? I was talking to certain people this morning. So if your foot getting mashed when you take off your shoes today, pour out the grits. Because we gonna mash some corns. It's 2020. You understand? Because we ain't gonna be used for our ingredients. And then have you running off, talking about us, when you ain't got the formula. Don't make us look bad. Don't go feeding people your dumb pound cake and say it come from us. Don't do it.
You know what I'm saying?
You understand? So we, as Atonist Christians, we have an obligation to become children of the Most High. And like we said, the very first day of the 2020 civil year, it's a formula. Number one, you are not alone.
That's right.
Number two, there's a formula for success.
That's right.
Number three, move away from imbalancement. Or move towards balancement. Two ways you could say that. You understand? So the reality of the situation, my brothers and sisters, is that we have to keep moving. We have to keep working. We have to keep punching, as our Basesh says. As this allows us to become a body. It takes time. It's not going to happen overnight. It hasn't happened overnight. This year, May 8th, makes 10 years for us here in the Bahamas. 10 years. We've gotten a lot done and we got a lot more to do.
That's right.
And we're going to continue to punch. We end today in the book of the Istanjil, the book of salvation, verse 107. We're in the 6th scroll, page 160 for those who have it. Bismillah Rabbil Kalaku al-Kareem, in the name of the Sustainer. Where's the Creator, the Generous One? Ta earth shall do such, because Anere has and shall inspire her to do such. Gabriel further spoke to me of why and how these holy Coptic saints shall be rewarded and found worthy through their works, say works,
Works.
to be arrayed in the similar long white robes of the original sacrificial shepherd or sorrow, as a symbol that they shall be allowed to stand in the presence of the 24 elders. See, we're not just learning about the 24 elders. You're going to stand in their presence. This ain't about waiting to die. This is about right now, in this life, standing with the 24 elders. This I learned shall be due to the fact that the holy Coptic saints, regardless of where they shall reside on our earth in the latter day, will give of their own physical life, their works, speech, goals, and spiritual strength and power to defeat Apep Zuen and his fallen angelic hosts. Revelation 12 talks about this Satan, this serpent, this devil being cast where? To earth with his angels. This is why you need protection. This is why you need this shield or this Mogan. As it says here in the 15th chapter of the Barashith. In verse 6. Instead, know of a surety that by the divine willpower of the Most High Heavenly One and Nere, have we the Nataru Elohim, being your direct ancestors, been assigned unto you as your guardian angelic host, defending host, simply your Mogan. Say Mogan.
Mogan.
Your protective shield. You understand? As I saw their symbolic souls stand before the vision, we're back in the Istanjul, the 107th verse. As I saw their symbolic souls stand before the vision of my intellect, I did hear the voice of Melchizedek Michael, a living latter-day incarnation of Tahuti Michael, also say unto the holy Coptic saints of the latter day, which stood before the 24 elders, that they should allow their symbolic souls to rest but for a little while longer, until the end of the second half hour, which is in 10 years, shall be completed, and the end of the 12 solar biological ages, or signs of the ages, shall have been completed, thus restarted once again. This I was taught was such because those that reach this state shall be the brethren and true followers of the Coptic saints, who shall suffer persecution for righteousness' sake, yet remain loyal always to true faith, while holding to the cause, say cause, say purpose, say goals, of mental, spiritual, emotional, and physical liberation from the negative spiritual forces of Apep Zuen. Melchizedek Michael, a living latter-day incarnation of Tahuti Michael, did further stress unto me the importance of all who read these words, exercising extreme what?
Patience.
Patience. Until the number, everybody want patience. That's part of the formula.
Yeah.
You can't just stick the cake in the oven and walk away, use the bathroom to wash it out and come back and open it. Ain't ready yet? This cake don't work. This formula ain't no good. Cake's still wet. It's just still cake mix. It ain't. How long you supposed to leave it in the oven? Gotta have extreme patience. Until the number of those of the three groups of 12 royal tribes of Ishmael, Israel, and Midiani that have reached the state of Niter Taten reaches 144,000. We got to do this long enough for the cake to rise. We got to do this long enough for those who are of the angelic bloodline to actually do what? Reach a state of Niter Taten. See, this symbol of the ever-living Nasarian also says, I have angelic bloodline.
Yes.
This also says, I have a connection to the Nataru Elohim. This says, I'm a child of the Most High Heavenly One. Because when we wear it and we go around, we know it look like some other symbols people know about. They trying to figure out what's really going on. We telling you what's really going on. The rise of the Nasarians. That's what's really going on. We have to be extremely patient until the number of the 3 groups of 12 royal tribes of Ishmael, Israel, and Midiani that have reached the state of Neter Taten, or divinity realized, reaches 144,000 experiences. That is simply 1 plus 4 plus 4 is 9. These 9 spiritual gifts of the Messiah, the anointment, or the 9 principles that you read about in 1 Corinthians 12, 4 through 11, where it talks about these 9 spirits, or gifts of the Spirit. That's the 9 spiritual gifts of the Messiah, the anointed, or the 9 principles. And then you have the 3 zeros, which are not actually zeros, but 3 ciphers, which was revealed to me to represent all cosmos, all substance, and all stages of existence. The Most High is everywhere. For at that time in the latter day shall the Amorite nation, which shall be the spiritual combination of all of the wickedness of the fallen empires before her, became powerless and crumble to the ground, where it shall be made humble and broken into pieces by the powers of Enere, through whom all humanity shall know that surely the true spiritual world is more powerful than the illusions perpetuated by the wicked in the physical world. You have more power than you think. But are you willing to access it? Are you willing to do what is necessary to actually embrace the Most High Heavenly One that lives in, through, and around you, that's going to give you access to a power that is more powerful than the physical power that they pretend to have on this planet? That's the question we have to ask, my brothers and sisters. You have to ask, number 1, what is my function? You have to know the ingredients that are necessary in this formula. And then you have to put the formula to work. Atonism is work. Say that.
Atonism is work.
So if you think you will come in here and just say one little prayer and you saved, that's not the formula. You go to the gym and do that. I've lost 20 pounds. Hallelujah.
There it is.
Everybody be like, all right. See that sit-up bench over there? Start right there. Get up on them sit-ups. Get on that bike. Get on that treadmill. Hit one of them soca classes or them jumping class, whatever aerobics they got. Zumba. Hit one of them classes. 20 pounds will go away, but it ain't gonna go away. You can't talk it away. And just like how you can't talk away your weight, or talk away, or talk into existence muscles, you can't talk into existence salvation. You can't talk into existence liberation. Tonism is work. You understand? And for those who want to be children of the Most High Heavenly One, be prepared to work. Be prepared to embrace every aspect of the formula, because you can't just say, I don't really like using this aspect of the ingredients, because it ain't gonna the cake ain't gonna bake properly.
No, it ain't gonna taste good.
It can get hot. It can get hot.
Dumb.
It may get dumb. It may not taste right. It may look perfect, you know.
Right? But it ain't taste good.
You need to taste it.
That's right.
It ain't right. You take it out too early, you cut it, you still get a cake bite in the middle. It's a precise formula. You leave it in too long, it can burn up. So you should always stay near. Draw near. Because the reality of the situation is, we can't put all the ingredients on Facebook. We can't put all the ingredients in the book. We're going to have to teach you some of the ingredients mouth to ear. It's the only way. And the only way we're going to become a body with one soul and different bodies is to start moving as one. You understand? So in 2020, we need to make sure we're active in the church. Pastor put a message in our Kanisa, various Kanisa groups. Be active. You understand? Make sure you're a part. Make sure you're not just reading the books. That's important. Know it. Yes, that's important. Put it to work. No doctor stayed home and read medical books and became a good doctor. No plumber stayed home and read plumbing books and became a good plumber. No artist read about art and became a good artist. It don't happen that way. You gotta put it into practice. You gotta support in every way possible for this to work. Because this is the formula to becoming a child of the Most High. With that we say Amun,
Amun.
and Namaste.
Namaste.